Welcome to In Hindsight, where we showcase local New Mexico. We also debate about hot topics, and maybe you're the a-hole. And I am your host, Day.
I'm Vivek.
And I'm Paul.
And also Octo and Rito.
Rito.
And we're going to be hungry again because we're going to be talking about food.
Here we go
Roll
again. Here we go
Roll
again.
that camera. So we are talking about a burger place and also, is it like a taco place, the Sharky's?
Yeah, so the burger place and the taco place are both actually right across the street from each other.
Ooh,
So
burgers and tacos.
Yeah, I
Can't
love
lose.
going to both of them. So it's gonna be this. The one that's on the screen right now is Julian's Burgers and More. So as in the name, they have burgers and more. You know, yeah, they have hot dogs, corn dogs. But my favorite is their green chili cheeseburger.
Of course, green chili, of course.
Yeah, I love their green chili cheeseburger. They have it's like a miniature one, and they have like larger burgers as well. The old-fashioned burger is the bigger one. Sharky's is amazing though. Their fish tacos.
Everybody
and their
talks
shrimp
about it, but I
tacos,
still haven't been. I need
You haven't been to
to.
Sharky's?
It's so
Yeah.
good.
The ceviche there also is amazing, I've been told.
Yeah, it's locally owned and operated and everything. The parents are really cool. During the pandemic, they actually made it a drive-through. So yeah, but look how good that food is. Those tacos are amazing.
I mean, how can you screw up tacos, really? I mean, I feel like you gotta
No,
try.
people can screw up tacos for sure.
Yes.
It's possible.
Have you heard about this place called Taco Bell?
Hey,
It's
hey,
called-
hey.
Taco Hell. That's right. Taco Hell. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And I always tell
So there is a
people,
way.
I live literally. If I step out of my house, there's a Taco Bell right in front of me, and but I never go there. I haven't gone to Taco Bell in years, because we have so much options.
Yeah.
You know,
Taco Hell.
Sharky's.
It's Taco Hell.
Yeah, Sharky's is miles and miles ahead.
Oh, yes.
Literally,
Yes.
every time I want to treat myself, I just go and get myself 2 shrimp tacos and 2 fish tacos.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's just amazing. And then they make their own salsa as well that you can add to your. And it's like different every time because they make it from scratch by themselves. And so they introduce new flavors, and it's just I love it. I love going there.
I need to make things. Like one thing that we are missing though is Vivek's very, very cute child eating an ice cream. It is summertime.
It's summertime.
So
It is.
happy.
Oh, that's one.
Yeah. Look at him. I mean, come on. How adorable.
This is
He
a
needs to be-
relatively new place.
He needs to be an
called-
actor, man. He looks like he's like, eat here. I'm like, I will, man.
No, he's pointing to this flavor that he got.
Ah.
That's the peach basil sorbet.
So how many flavors?
They have a bunch of flavors. So this place is called Heidi's.
Heidi's.
It's
okay.
on Vassar between Candelaria and Comanche, around that area.
Okay.
It's actually a raspberry jam factory, but on their front side they have an ice cream
Ice cream
shop.
shop.
It's locally owned, or
It's locally owned.
oh wow.
I mean, come
it's okay.
on.
I didn't even know any,
It's-
any
Jam
ice
factory.
cream shops that are locally owned. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and it's really cool. Like they have a little fountain outside. You can sit outside, especially if it's not too hot.
I know.
What's it
It's
called
really
again?
cool. Heidi's.
Heidi's.
Heidi's, yeah.
We
It's
all
really
scream
cool.
for us.
It's Heidi's
Yeah.
Raspberry Farm and the ice cream shop.
Yeah.
And if you're nice to the people in the front, they will give you a tour of the farm,
Facility.
of the jam
What if you're
factory.
mean to them? What do you?
What
You
is
get
it?
kicked out.
Oh, you kicked out? They don't even serve you?
If you're mean to them,
They'll still take your money, obviously.
but you're not
Buy
that kind of.
something.
But they won't give you the tour. No tour.
You're not that kind of the guy.
Yeah.
You're not that kind of the guy. So I don't have any problems with that.
No, anybody giving me food, I'm the nicest person to.
Yeah, I know.
There's no way I could be mean to somebody giving me
I mean,
food.
please tell me they make raspberry ice cream because I feel like there's a missed opportunity.
I don't know. I had the one with the basil because I really like the basil flavor.
Ooh, that's
But the-
totally different too. I've never had basil flavor.
I know. And then the raspberry jams, they have a few different varieties. They have the plain raspberry jam and then
Okay.
raspberry jam with chili in it because it's New Mexico,
Yes.
right?
Of course,
So
yeah, you got to.
There's one I think with ginger in it. I remember. Might be a few other flavors. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a place to check out.
I love it when they do like fusion flavors like that that
Yeah.
are like unique.
Yes.
I mean, because I love mango jam, I love pineapple jam, I love regular jam.
Yeah.
But like do like a raspberry chili. Because I think like I love New Mexico, but there are some things that doesn't need to be chili on it. You know what I mean? I feel like it becomes a clickbait now. We're like, we have something with chili, you know, and I'm just like, you shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
I
There are
love
some-
everything with chili. I'm one of those people that'll put it on everything. I'm like,
So
if they
that-
make chili toothpaste, I'm
Yeah.
gonna use it.
Yeah, I feel like there's gotta be a line there somewhere.
And I'm
So-
like, nope.
I think maybe that's how you distinguish people who were like who
Native.
yeah,
Yeah.
native New Mexicans versus
Natives like, put chili on everything.
Yep.
Chili? Put more chili.
Yeah, more chili. On the top,
More
my chili
chili.
with more chili. Yeah, kind of
yeah.
That like when I tell people,
What goes well with green chili?
more chili.
Red chili.
red chili. Yeah.
I always get green. I love green just because it's a little bit more sweet than the red. Like it just has a little bit more of like I don't know, like the flavor in it, especially when you put a little bit of salt in there.
Yeah.
It has like a, sweet, and then it's hot, and it's just like I love that.
You love that?
Yeah. So like I like red, but I feel like red is more for me for like breakfast stuff. And but I eat green on anything that involves dinner.
So my dad, he would eat raw green chili peppers with his meal. And once in a while he'll get like a hot one. And then for him that became like an ego thing, right? Oh, I gotta eat it. He's all sweating, but no, he's gotta have it.
We used to go to the chili festivals growing up, and it was like the hottest chilies from around the world.
Yeah.
And so you can go to each booth and try how their hottest chilies. They have like it ranked and everything, and you would see people passing out.
Of course.
People literally passing. I remember one time, and I was a little kid, and there was this big like muscled, steroided out kind of guy, and he's like, give me your hottest chili. And they were like, yeah, he's like, I don't care. And they were like, are you sure, sir? It's the ghost chili. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I'll eat the whole thing. Watch this. He's like, I'll eat the stem too. Ate it. And he's like, okay, that's pretty hot. And he like starts sweating profusely. They're like, all right. He's like, can you give me some milk? They're like, yeah. They give him some milk. Okay. He starts like panting, and he like literally has to sit down on the floor because he was like about to pass out. Like this guy was literally about to pass out. He's like sitting there on the floor just sweating. It's like, yeah, dude,
That's on you.
You act like because you're a big dude that you can automatically just take these things. Like
It's not a weight issue. This is like your brain is literally say,
yeah.
Mayday, I don't like this.
You
Because that's
have
what it
to-
is. It's like
Yep.
spice is like hotness is not a spice.
Yes.
And
We've
what it
talked
is
about
is
this
like,
before.
yeah,
I know.
Really?
this is literally
I didn't know
it's
that.
like it's not it's not in your senses. So like what it is like it's your brain telling you danger.
Oh.
So like
Yeah.
if it's a little bit, it's kind of like, oh, this is fun. It's kind of like riding a roller coaster, right? Right? It's just like, oh, I like this, and then after the 10th time, I'm like, I don't like that. This is too much turns.
I
So,
love it.
Yeah. So like the first mild ones, your brain is like, oh, this is
Okay, this
spicy.
is okay, yeah.
This is a little bit dangerous, but I like it. It's like it's a little bit fun.
The
And then
hottest-
when it's crazy, it's like you're dying. This is death. You are now dead. Goodbye.
See, like at Julian's, if you ever go there, their green chili burger is actually like it's manageable hotness. So you'll eat it and you'll be like, this is pretty good. You're
I'm
like,
still
this
alive.
is nice. Yeah, I'm still
I'm still
alive.
here.
I'm not sweating profusely. Like it's just I'm good. But honestly, like Bob's Burgers, if you ever go to Bob's Burgers and you get the taco burger, the chili that they put on that is crazy hot.
Even for you, Paul. Even for you.
Even for me, there's not many things that I haven't finished because it's so hot, and that was one of those things. And I told my friend about it. Have you ever heard of Hot Ones?
Yes.
The show?
I love that show,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'll break
Okay.
it down for you real quick. So there's 12 different levels. Hot Ones is basically where you eat different levels of wings, of hot wings.
Okay.
And it gets hotter and hotter progressively as it goes on.
And they usually have like celebrities or like famous people in
Yeah,
it.
like
Okay.
Shaq, when
Yeah.
Shaq had like a bunch of memes because of how hot his face, he started
Yeah.
sweating and stuff.
Yeah.
So my friend you can actually order the kit where you can have all 12.
Because they change them every
This is-
season.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you can order the kit and actually try each flavors that they're trying. And so my friend ordered the kit. And he's like, I want to try to eat like all of the hottest one,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, dude, if you want to try to train to eat the hottest, go eat Bob's Burgers. He's like, there's no way it's hot. It's as hot as the hottest ones, dude. I was like, dude, I'm telling you. I was like, let's go then. He's like, all right. He's like, I've been training, bro. He's like, I've been eating the hot ones.
I love it when they're all hyped
up.
too.
Yeah,
Like,
I've been eating. He's like, oh, there's nothing to me. I said, Bob's Burgers is nothing to me. I was like, dude, he ate it and he couldn't even finish it. He got halfway through and he's like, this is too much, dude. I was like, I know, I told you, bro.
Yeah. But also, like we were talking about, is like what people forget is like, because like Szechuan food is spicy, but it doesn't build up. So like you know how when you eat spicy food, eventually there's like a point where like the spiciness is too much because you're eating it too much. So like the spiciness builds up. So like with the Szechuan food, it does numb your tongue a little bit, but that's it. It doesn't go any higher. So, I mean, but there's also there's also level of the peppers, right?
Exactly.
But basically, Szechuan food is like, it's spicy, it does numb your tongue a little bit, but it doesn't build up where you can't eat it anymore. It's consistent. So like if you're eating that fish stew, it's the same spiciness throughout. Than like you're eating a Bob's Burger where it's starting to build up because like you're eating and it's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Right? So, but...
It's like simple interest versus compound interest, right? Simple interest, like, okay, you get every time a little bit. And this one like keeps going.
Keeps building on top of each other.
So I have a confession to make, okay?
All right.
So if the food is spicy, right, and it can be hot spicy or like spicy, sometimes, most of the times, I don't even have to eat it. Like I go near it and I start to feel something here, right on the top of my head, and that's how I know I don't have to eat it. Like I don't need to eat it. It's one of those things.
I take it as a challenge when people are like, "Oh, this is really hot." I'm like, "Give it to me." I'm gonna take a scoop of it, and like I did that with my friends. They're eating it's something chili Tabasco. It's like the hottest Tabasco sauce that they have. And I was like, there's no Tabasco sauce that's hot enough for me, honestly. I was like, I'll chug a bottle of Tabasco sauce like it's nothing. Like, so I was like, what out of this hot, whatever she had. She's like, watch out with it. And I was like, watch this. Ate it. And I didn't even break a sweat. I was like, this is nothing. I was like, I don't even need water on this. I was like, you kidding me? It's Tabasco sauce. I was like, I'm used to eating like the hottest chilies. I even grew green chili in my backyard for a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I have grown green chilies in my backyard. That's fine.
And they're more sweet, right? It's not as hot. It's not as hot as
correct
when you have it at the store.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is very random because like tomatoes, right? Tomatoes has a component on it where it makes it spicy.
Really?
But it decided to be a recessive gene. So scientists decided, hey, let's turn it up. Because why not? When tomatoes itself is like, no. But scientists were like, why not?
Mess with the food.
Yes. So they made spicy tomatoes.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy spicy.
I would love to try that.
And yeah, so like tomatoes have recessive genes that didn't want to kill us, but scientists were like, why not?
Why not?
We have a lab. What are we doing from 11 to 7 on the 7 to 12 of June, right? And you're like,
we have a grant from NIH, right? We gotta spend the money.
And it's like there was a meme about it. It's like tomatoes decided to chill, but the scientists were like, not today.
No. Tomatoes decided to chill, and then scientists like, why? Chili.
They want to create pain.
Yeah.
I actually don't like tomatoes, so if they were spicy, I would probably eat them.
Yeah.
I really don't like the taste of tomato. People think I'm weird when I say this, but I think tomatoes taste like feet. And I don't know what feet taste like, but I just assume
it might be a texture thing too.
It's also if really tomatoes, if you want to taste them, you have to taste them from your backyard, because what you get in the store, it tastes like cardboard.
It's all the same.
Tastes like cardboard. There's no taste.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
not the
flavor.
same when you get it in the garden because like we just bought zucchini for our barbecue because like we were growing zucchini last summer and it was so sad. I'm like, what is this waterless, tasteless shenanigans?
Yes.
And our zucchini last summer was like humongous. I mean, when I say humongous, I mean they were like this big, and they were like this thick.
The thing with zucchini is you have to harvest it at just the right time, because if you wait one more day, that's it. They become like twice the size. It's like
That's what
they grow very fast.
happened. So we thought
They grow
we're like,
fast.
oh, this is gonna be gross and tasteless because it's humongous, because it's big. But then
But it's
we're
not.
like,
Yeah.
this is so good.
I saw this one thing where they have indoor grow houses. Or
Oh,
it's
yes.
like, have you seen those?
Yes.
They're like $400. And
You can make them yourself.
you
don't
can,
have to.
that makes sense.
You
'cause
make
they're all,
the
it's all
kids.
PVC pipe, right?
Yeah.
But like,
You
but
can make
I was thinking, well, like what they should do in the government, because we have people that are on EBT, right, and people that are getting free food stuff. So I think what they should do is they should be like every single person that's on EBT, they should now get this
They should get a kit,
one of those kits, exactly,
Yeah.
because then
They could grow their own food.
they grow their own food, and then it's
Yes.
impossible for them not to have food. We should
Yes.
have that as an American standard in every single house, and then have a self-sustained garden in every person's house.
So the challenge is like the people who make decisions with the money don't necessarily agree with it, because
But you have
somehow
to think
it's-
about too. It's like
yeah.
it's more complicated because
It's
there's
not.
electricity, water required,
It's
and work
not.
required. Most people that are actually in EBT are working more than 2 jobs, so there's a lot more responsibility tending to your own garden. But
No,
like
but-
we can
Well,
talk
no,
about
no,
this.
But there are
it's not,
community
it's not a
gardens.
garden. It's not a garden. It's a.
it's like a growth
thing.
Yeah,
But
it's a
electricity and water, that means
No,
that-
there's no electricity on it. No, actually, sorry.
There
I
is
think there is
electricity because they have the
on-
lights
yeah,
and
it's-
stuff,
yeah.
yeah. So
But the
it's not that much.
It's not. Yeah,
It's not that much. You could do the electricity with the solar panel, right? What I'm saying is, if you really put your mind to it, you can
Yeah,
come up
you
with
can.
solutions.
Yeah.
The
For
obvious solutions.
yeah,
There-
but there's
But then there's
I
this
mean,
thing called politics, right?
yeah.
And so, like,
I mean, are there smarter things the government should be doing now? Yes, we live in the United States.
And that's another thing. I mean, like side,
it's a side
but like,
conversation.
but yeah, it's a big side conversation. But the government is definitely not doing enough to help the people with.
So I have a friend who has a nonprofit where what he does is people will donate land to his nonprofit, and then he would buy the land, or like he would get the land in areas where people are, are
There's
struggling.
food desert, yeah.
They're struggling to make ends meet and stuff,
Right.
and he would just let them grow food there.
That's
So
amazing.
he's like, okay, you can have my land. I still own it, but you can grow food on it.
I have land actually. I should do that. I
Yeah.
would love to. If
Rent your
anybody
land?
out there wants to use my land to grow food,
Please
you
contact
can.
our show
Yeah.
and contact Paul.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's on. It's
a good point.
It's in Rio Rancho on Southern and like next to Unser.
Yeah, that's a good land too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
like wineries and stuff there.
And it's not that complicated to grow food.
No,
It really is.
as long as
If
you
I
have
can grow
the right
food,
time.
anybody can grow good.
Yes.
I've killed cactuses, so just to let you guys know. If I could do it, you can do it. And in saying that, because we are already like swaying away for hot topics, obviously
Yes.
putting government in it. So like, government is always hot topics. But like, I was reading some articles where Paul has tell us what's the next generation after Gen Z is, because we did not know. 'Cause we're old. So I guess like the Gen A generation is now doing this anti-social media movement because right now we are bombarded by social
Yes,
media,
social media,
so
yes.
much, and it's a very interesting take because now this generation will be against it, because if you think about it, a lot of our information is out there.
Yes.
Like I am like starting to like kind of like take back, like for my business account it's different because it's marketing, but even for my personal stuff, because like if you think about it, there's a lot of like security and privacy things where like they say like, you know, if you're going on vacation, don't post that you're on, because what happened to Kim Kardashian, right?
What happened?
So when it was a couple of years ago, so what happened was that Kim Kardashian used to post at the moment. So if she's in Paris right now in this restaurant, she posted at this happening right now. So what happened was like this group in Paris, because she had all this jewelry on her, they literally just followed her social media account to see where she was and what time she was going to be in the hotel. And they pretty much ransacked her, stole her stuff, taped her. She thought she was going to die because there was a gun
Oh,
in
they
her
kidnapped her?
face. Not kidnap
it's
her,
stole from her.
to steal from her.
But they put a gun in her face.
They put a gun on her and they like, you know, taped her and tied her and everything. Because she had like her engagement ring was like at like 7 million just for that one item. because she was showing like all the jewelry that they were having, that kind of thing. So literally, these group of people knew exactly what time and when she was gonna be in her hotel, because it wasn't a hotel; it was like a private residence that they rented. So because they knew where the guards were gonna be
Well,
staying.
you should never go to anywhere really. Like when I was growing up in Albuquerque, like I wouldn't even wear headphones that were like like the white headphones, because I was like, I don't want people to think I have like an iPhone or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that whenever you're traveling in general in places that you don't know or places that you think might be sketchy, just dress down. Don't wear fancy jewelry out to places. I wouldn't even wear this stuff, and this isn't even expensive jewelry, but I wouldn't wear that out.
Don't have a 7 million ring on it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like literally, if you're going to another country where you don't know everyone, take the jewelry out, leave it in your house, and then go and travel and have fun, and that way.
Well, I mean, obviously, like the logic thing, but like even they tell people that's like if you're going on vacation, don't post on social media that you're going on vacation, because they know that you're not at home. Right? Because like it's not just like the mail anymore. Like when you have a stack of mail in your front door, like in my neighborhood, we don't have a mailbox. We have a mailbox, but it's a neighborhood mailbox, so you have to walk there, and it's like this big thing,
Correct.
and you have like a number, know. So like they don't know if you're on vacation or not, or like leave like your outside lights on or timed it, so like it make it seem like there's somebody there. But like don't post your social media that like you're on vacation, because then people know that you're not home. So it's easier, that kind of thing. So it's like, but like I said, it's just like, I know even personally, I have friends and family that like they post way too much in social media, things that like I don't want to know that, way too much TMI. I mean, because the thing is just like my social media is kind of like happy social media. It's always like celebrated things that I do, or if I'm on vacation or like that kind of thing. So like I don't post like what's happening to me or anything that's happening to me. My husband is barely on my social media. I mean, I always have this joke that like the only reason why he's in Facebook, so my Facebook say I'm married to specific name, because he was bothered that like it only says I'm married, and I'm just like, but I'm married, and it's like, yeah, but it doesn't say you're married to me, so I have to have this Facebook. So I'm just like, sure, so
that's why I can't be in relationships too much. Like the labels.
The
labels are
like,
too much for me.
Also like the cheating stuff that's happening on social media, people DMing each other.
Oh yeah,
that kind of thing.
I've had married women DM me, send me messages and stuff. I will not hook up with anyone that is, if I know that she's married, I will not.
That's where you draw the line.
That's where I draw the line.
But what if they're separated?
That's the thing, is like, if she's honest with me and she's like telling me like she's not, with the guy, but the girls who have messaged me, when I looked at their Facebooks,
they're married.
It looked like they were in a happy relationship. And so
social media is deceiving.
Yeah.
It's deceiving.
So it definitely happens.
Yeah.
Social media it has definitely ruined a lot of relationships because of that aspect, because of how readily available the next person is.
It's like a revolving door almost.
Yeah, it is. It is, for sure. I notice all the time.
I think that's what we were saying before, right? That's where we started, that the next generation is going to be against social media.
Yeah. But
and I think it's already starting to happen.
But if you think about it, like a lot of things that are like retro, which is kind of sad, because like, I'm like, but I'm only 40, things shouldn't be retro already. But like people are like getting into vinyl. Vinyl sales are going up. Vinyl is like the hottest music items right now. It's like they sold more than digital albums. Like the percentage of like how big it's been jumping for the past couple of years. Like my friend told me, because like she's a little bit more strict. Her kids doesn't have phones, and they have very limited TV time and computer time. So when they go to my nephews, they're like, they're like, very shocked the first time my goddaughter realized and found out that like my nephews are allowed to sleep with the TV on, like mind-boggling to her. She's like, what do you mean you can sleep and have the TV on? Like, how is it possible? I'm only allowed 1 hour on the weekends, Like she said that like Gladys brought an Etch-a-Sketch for lunch, and all the kids were fighting time to play with her etch a
Exactly.
sketch.
Yeah.
Because they were like
Yeah.
so fascinated with this item, and like I said,
Yes.
it's like I think like iPods are like gaining momentum right now.
Oh,
like
really? I have a bunch of them still.
Polaroids are gaining momentum right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So this is stuff we're talking about, but I think the skills that will become valuable in the coming time will be people who can actually talk to other people in real life. Right? It's a thing,
No, it is in Japan.
Hey,
Yeah.
So in
it's
Japan,
valuable
true.
today too,
Yeah.
even in.
No, I'm saying it'll become even more valuable
More valuable for
because
sure.
less and less people will have that skill, so it'll become
Yeah.
more valuable.
the number of single men that are like
Oh.
not dating, so like they actually offer these services. I forgot what it's called, but it's like it translates to like brother. So what it is like because like a lot of Japanese men don't date anymore.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
That they're like single by themselves, and like also a lot of like
Sad.
a lot of like elderly are like
Yes.
passing away with like no family or even children. Because like right now they said the houses in Japan, because like it's
Well,
weird
they have
in
all
Japan.
men. It's all men.
Well, the thing is like the houses in Japan doesn't appreciate; it depreciates. So they have $1 houses that are selling in Japan right now,
Wow.
because like it becomes abandoned.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
yeah.
don't even have any legacy or family to live it on.
Well, how are you gonna have a family when there's no women? They literally have been. I dated a girl that was from Japan, and she was born in Japan, and she was sold into the adoption agency when she was 3 in
Wow.
America, but she was taken away from her family at birth because they cannot have girls. They
Wow.
immediately put them into the foster. So this is what she said. She said when she was like 2 or 3, what they would do is have them hanging from a bar at 3 years old, hanging from bars to measure how talented they were in athletics, to see if they're going to put them in the Olympic circuit at 3. So if they were not strong enough to do that, then they would put them through various tests to test their mental aspects to see if they're like going to be good. Basically, are they valuable to the country? And if not, then they're getting put into the foster
Next.
industry. Yeah. Luckily, she was able to find a family immediately who adopted her and brought her into America. But it is not
That's
a common
sad.
thing.
That is
Yeah.
sad.
It is
That
very
is
sad.
sad.
Yeah, to think
Yeah,
that,
because-
and that's the result. What you're talking about is the result of that. All these men now don't have enough women, and they don't know what to do. And like men instinctually are honestly not very like. With every guy most guys that I grew up with, are not good at approaching women.
Not a plus. Thank you. I was like, as a woman, we've been saying this, but for coming from another man, thank you.
What was that?
No, it's true.
Yeah,
It's
because
true.
if it's coming for us, we're just complaining, right? They're just like, oh, you're just complaining as a
No.
woman. It's not.
But actually, there is a lot of men's work that is growing and it's gaining popularity. Like men working on themselves to be more confident, to be more,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
centered, more
Yeah.
integrated,
Yeah.
and not so much anxiety driven.
Yeah.
So I think that's also that movement is also gaining
Men
momentum.
are starting to take themselves more seriously
Yes.
and starting to. I noticed a big movement of men talking about their emotions.
Oh
Yes.
Yeah.
That is what I like about like I said, it's just like there's this like okay for the older generation, and even like I don't want to say, but even in my generation of like people saying is like, oh, this next generation are like too woke, too gentle, too emotional, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, but the thing is just like we are allowing our sons to talk about their mental health.
Yes.
Like all this like childhood trauma that it's been getting passed on from generations to generations. I don't want to pass it on to my children.
It's a generational trauma.
These are not healthy. Just because we're not talking about it doesn't mean they do not exist.
There's so many. That's such a crazy mindset to have. And I've talked to so many guys of the older generation that are like one of my uncles. He's like, oh, the younger generation is a bunch of pansies and they don't want to, they're just like emotional and all
Ninnies
stuff.
and sissies and all that stuff.
Yeah, and they're sissies and all that. And I
Yeah.
was like, I was trying to talk very calmly with him. And I was like, well, it's different. Like people are trying to have their emotions and everything like that. He's like, no, you're a pansy too. Came at me, right? And I grew up fighting. Like this is
cannot mess
Albuquerque.
with Pop.
Yeah, this is Albuquerque. Like you don't grow up here without fighting. So like and my uncle didn't grow up with me. he didn't know me growing up, you know. So when he started talking about my past and how, you know, like how I'm a pansy, I was like, okay, well, what's up then? And I told him, well, let's fight. And he's like, why are you trying to fight me? And I was like, look, dude, you have one of two people, okay, in this world. You either have the people that you call pansies; those are the people who are emotional and who will talk to you very, very, you know, they will make sure that your emotions are heard, their emotions are heard.
Your boundaries are set.
Your boundaries are set, and everybody feels comfortable. Those are the people you call pansies. You want those people to talk to you because people like me are not pansies. And I have very little, I do not like my temper for people that are calling other people names and trying to belittle other people or demean other people.
It's 2023, dude.
I flip out. I lose my shit. I'll be like, oh, let's fight then, you know, especially with guys. So like, I'm like, you guys have to choose, especially the men and the older men have to choose. Do you want to have guys that are mean to you and who are going to fight you, or do you want to have men who are going to be emotional and listen to you?
Integrated,
Yeah, I think
Actually,
emotional is
You can't just
better.
flip-flop whenever you want to.
Yeah, you can't just say like be
This
tough,
for now.
be tough, but don't be tough towards me because being tough towards me scares me. It's like no, bro.
I had a very interesting conversation with an APD officer, a retired APD officer, and what she was saying is that APD was not trained to do this kind of like, oh, let's have a conversation, let's de-escalate things. And that's what got them into trouble, right? I mean, we have this whole CASA thing going on.
Yeah.
But had they had that training for everybody, it wouldn't have become so bad. So there is a place for, you know, even in law enforcement, there's a place for, like, so what she was saying is the motto should be, or the thing should be, use your mouth, not your gun. Right? Like if you can learn to use your words, that's so much better.
Yeah.
And it's true for every place. I think
I like the meme of like, just because you're guilty doesn't mean you need to die.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Not guilty, that's for the courts.
Correct.
As a police officer, it is not your job to determine when I'm gonna die.
Correct.
Guilty or not guilty,
Right.
your job is to put me in jail, right? But we can have another talk.
That's a whole different topic.
We're gonna segue to
Yes,
this.
yes.
Am I
Yes,
able?
yes,
Because
yes.
I think this is the best.
This is getting too
segue.
serious.
Yes.
Yeah, especially when you get to the cops say, oh, here.
I'm like, this 45-minute show will turn into 45 hours right away. So this is interesting because once again, family are complicated.
All right.
So my husband and I decided to bring our two kids to Disney World for 4 days. Now that they are old enough to appreciate it. My husband and I are not in the best of shape, so we decided to invite his sister and her husband along with us, so we have 2 separate rooms. We assumed we would spend our time in the parks together since it was, after all, a family vacation. Bad assumption. The first day in the park, we all did a few attractions together, but then when we went to bring the kids to meet some characters, she said she and her husband had other things in the park they wanted to do and will meet back up with us. We didn't see them until dinner after we watched fireworks together, and then we went back to the hotel. The second day, we went to Epcot. They stuck around with us until the afternoon, but then split up with us again to drink around the world. I like how she says that. Drink around the world. When we met up with them for dinner, they were clearly very tipsy in front of the kids. Very mature.
Very mature.
They don't have kids. What am I going to do? You know? When we got back to the hotel that night, I knocked on their door after the kids were asleep. I asked them if they were going to spend any time with the family on this vacation and told them running around an amusement park with kids all day is exhausting and we could use help. She claimed the time they were spending with us was enough, but they wanted to do their own things too. She made a rude comment that she didn't take days off of work to be our babysitter. The next 2 days, we didn't speak to them at all. They did their own thing, and we did ours with our kids. We didn't see them again until the flight home, which was awkward. I was so upset that they ruined the experience for our kids, who were looking forward to spending time with their aunt, that when I got home, I wrote an email to our immediate family about the experience, and at the end told them this was the reason we would be going low contact with sister-in-law. I included sister-in-law on email, sent it, and went to sleep. Woke up to a ton of angry texts from husband's family calling me ridiculous. Shocker. I just assumed she would spend time with a family on a family vacation. Clearly, she does not value family. What a twist. There's so much to unpack.
There is drama.
So
There's
much.
drama.
Because the thing is, like, as an auntie who doesn't have kids and has also went to Disney World with my nephews at one time, it is very, very interesting. Because that's the problem is like expectations, reality, and then communication.
For sure.
Right?
Yes.
Expectations versus reality is huge. I mean, I'm in the exact same boat because I don't have kids either. My sister has kids. But if she was to get mad at me for not hanging out with her kids, I would tell her they're your kids. I'm sorry, but I chose to not have them specifically so I didn't have to watch them.
It's Nanya. Yeah.
If I'd have them, then I have to watch. My mom one time actually was trying to guilt trip me into something like that. She's like, well, you're not seeing your nephews enough. You have to see your nephews more. They want to see you. They want to see you. I was like, Mom, one is 2, the other one is 3.
They don't want
They
anything.
don't know. They don't care. I was like, I hardly saw my aunties and uncles growing up. I didn't care, and they don't care either.
At 2 and 3, just whoever it is,
You're just an old person in the room.
Exactly. They have no connection to me. Maybe when they're like 10 or 15 and they start getting into their teens and they start figuring out like we had the same interests or whatever, then I'll be like, yeah, all right, well, let's hang out then.
Yeah.
But like at this age, I'm like, they just want to go to the park and play. They maybe want to be around their grandparents. I loved being around my grandparents when I was little, so I'm like, my mom and dad should be around their grandkids. But, I mean, the uncles and aunties, I think the parents put too much pressure on the uncles and aunties, and the kids don't care at all. And I think it's kind of a scapegoat to be like, my kid is hurt because of this. Like, they
And then
they don't even know.
let's email everybody. And I'm like,
don't even know
what a
happened.
great idea.
The situation itself, I thought was, if you want a family vacation, then you want to do something that everybody would enjoy doing together.
Right.
It was not planned that way. Right? And Disney World, a place like Disney World, I have personal sort of opinion about it.
You're like, I don't like it.
No, I mean,
Yes, it's time and moments.
it's like, okay, you go on a ride or whatever, but you're not doing things together, right? Mm-hmm. Even though if you want to build that relationship and that bond between uncle and auntie and the kids, you need to create space for them to do things together.
Like camping and stuff like that.
Right? Camping, whatever, right? I mean, not Disneyland. Come on. Like,
no, yeah.
I mean, you can. Because
it's
like
more
I've
of a
done.
distraction.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said,
there's
it's
no
like
conversation. There's no like. It's
Yeah,
like watching
you don't-
TV together, right? I mean, okay, you're staring at the screen. Okay, you're going on the ride.
Right, you're not
And
learning about each other.
Yeah.
And that's probably the thing that really needed to happen.
Correct.
Is them
Correct.
learning about each other.
But I don't think that was the intention of the parents, right? So,
no, the
because-
intention was like, well, there's a lot of different things about it. Because like as an aunt who like I do love spending every single time with my nephews, and they know it, they love it, like because I barely see them because like they're in a different state. So I do like when we do go to amusement parks and stuff. I mean, about 20% of the time, me and my husband do something because we don't have kids.
Engage.
It is
engage,
easier.
yeah.
I mean, like sometimes there's like those one rider lines where like me and my husband don't have to like ride together.
Right.
Like you can ride on the front and I'll ride in the back. This is the same ride still,
Yes.
But they can't because they have kids. You know what I mean? It's different. They can just be like, I'm gonna see you. You kids can like go in the front. You know what I mean? You can't do that. It's your kids, especially the age and stuff.
Right.
The second thing is like, did you pay for my vacation? Did you pay for my flights? Did you pay for my hotel?
Yeah.
If that was there's a difference.
If they did, do you think that they would have the dominion over them to tell them what to do? And to
I think
hang
they
out
would
there?
have
I would
been-
not accept that offer.
Yeah.
I would
Right.
not. I would not put myself in
That
that
was
situation. To be
that
honest.
would have been a conversation too, because like if somebody is paying for your stuff, you know that there's an expectation.
There's an exchange, right?
Yes.
I mean, they're paying for some reason, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're kind of the a-hole because like if I'm paying for your flights and I'm paying for your hotel, there's a difference. You know what I mean? Because then obviously you're here for a reason because I'm paying for your stuff. But if I paid for my tickets, I mean,
You have the
why?
freedom,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like, if I want to drink my way around Epcot, I'm doing it. You know what
it's
I
a free
mean?
country. It's a free country.
Yes. And it's one of those things. And like I said, it's like for somebody who loves spending every single minute with my nephews, there's also time because like now they're teenage kids. They're 10 and almost 13, right? So like I also, because like the last time I saw them, they brought their friends with them. We went to Dave and Buster. They don't want to be with me.
No, yeah.
They want to be with their friends and fun
Yeah.
and all that stuff. They don't want me lurking around like, hey, hey, is this game fun?
Of course.
Like, how do you play this game? You know what I mean? Because also there's that development, there's that emotional development
Yes,
of learning
yes.
that like, oh, my auntie is taking me to a place that's fun, but she's also giving me space to be with my friends. She's
Exactly.
giving me new memories, new times with my. I feel like for her to even email the family, you put yourself in a situation to be judged and like be bombarded.
Yes.
Because
and
they
you're
did
making
nothing.
people choose sides, which is so,
Exactly.
it's
It's
so
just
uncomfortable.
This,
Because
I
now
hate
when
that
you're
when
around
people
them,
do that. Yeah. And my kids, like I hate it.
you know what
I
I
hate
always
when
say?
people use kids as an excuse.
This has been my quarrel with like a lot of my family as well. People talking for other people.
Oh, yes.
That's such an annoying thing. Well, my kid wouldn't like that. Well, your kid isn't here, okay? If your kid says specifically, I don't like my auntie not hanging out with me, then we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
But if the kid doesn't specifically say
Yeah.
that, then what's the problem?
What's the problem?
Don't like it, like, or people will always do that. Like, no, well, this person wouldn't like that. They wouldn't like, well, let me
You don't
talk to
know.
them.
You
Yeah, you
don't
don't know.
know.
And it might
You
be on
don't
a
know.
case by case basis. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. Maybe this time the person wouldn't want like people to use their refrigerator, but then maybe a month later they're like, yeah,
It's
dude, use
different.
my
Yeah,
refrigerator
it's
because
different. Yeah.
now I got everything I wanted out of it.
Yeah.
So like it's by a case basis. I think it's ridiculous to assume that a kid or anybody is gonna have the exact same feelings every single time.
Correct.
And
Correct.
also like
Feelings change.
they already said
Yeah.
like they were like not in shape. Rent a scooter. That's what I did. Like last time I went to the
You
zoo
can ride
with
a
the kids.
scooter?
Yes, because like
Like a-
because I was just like
Like a razor scooter? Like
no,
the
like
ones
the
that-
supermarket scooters. You know, because
Different idea.
we were in the zoo, and
Oh,
then
but
I
that was
was
a
like,
scooter,
yeah, it was like, it's only $35. Yes, yes. And I told my husband when I came, I was like, this is now my life.
Yes.
When we go to zoos and stuff, I would like to be in a scooter. This is my life now. This is I've now elevated. If there's a zoo and there's no scooter, we're not going to that zoo. Like this is what I
This-
want now.
One more point I was going to make, which is, in all relationships, there's a play of like you're together for some time, then you're away for some time, then you're together for some, because that's what builds the bond. Right?
Yeah.
So in this case, actually, I am supportive of these guys saying, okay, we've done things with you, now we're going to do things with us amongst, our things, and then we'll come back.
Right.
That's like even if you want to build bonds with the niece and nephew, you need that kind of thing, right? So
It's like
It's like-
you're around them
Yeah.
and then you go away and you miss them.
correct.
And then you come back around that, yeah. And that's the only way to build a relationship.
It's true for all relationships, and especially with kids. That's when they value it more. If you're there all the time, then
You're just a parent. So that is.
Yeah, that's why I value my grandparents so much. Honestly, like my grandparents have never forced themselves on me. They've always been like, if you want to come around us, then we're
Yes.
always welcoming.
Exactly.
But they're like, do your own thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
And also know that this is just our hot take. These are just our opinions.
No, these are facts.
These are facts.
This is in the dictionary, okay? You can look it up.
Yeah.
It's the rule of law.
And we also just want to also say that if you're a local or any businesses in New Mexico or any businesses at all and you want to be featured or sponsored in our show, please contact us and reach out to us. And for now, this is our show for the weekend. We will see you next week.
Oh, we already
Bye.
done? Oh my God. All right, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.